Elden Ring. Elden Ring is one of those games I always heard so many good things about it. I never really cared too much about Souls games. I don't know why, but I was never really interested on it until I saw the trailer. Man, that game caught my eyes. I saw the trailers and some gameplays and it looked so cool. And also, Asmongold mentioned this game so many times in his videos that I feel like I wanted to play.
Yeah, there's a lot of good games I like. I like Elden Ring. I think Elden Ring is a pretty good game. There's other games I like Elden Ring's pretty good. And there's also Elden Ring is another game I like.
So, I finally bought the game on Steam and played it, and I have some thoughts that I wanted to share. Man, there's so many good things about this game. I didn't even know where to start. I think the coolest thing about Elden Ring is that I think it really captured that epic feeling of battling against a big boss. Fighting a boss in this game is so exciting. It doesn't feel like a game. It feels like real life. You feel like a cool warrior inside the game. It's pretty cool. Like going to a castle or a dungeon and seeing the big ass boss waiting for you. I don't know. It just makes you pee your pants. Another really cool thing about this game is the boss variations that the game has. Every boss is so different and so creative, and it's pretty hard to find in these kind of games. Usually because the open world games are so big nowadays, usually you can find the same boss and same enemies again and again in the games. Like an example, Breath of the Wild is a game that I really love. It's one of my favorite games of all time. But even this awesome game that I like fails really hard in that regard, because you fight the same boss over and over again and again and again and again and again. Elden Ring is not perfect. The bosses and enemies, it still repeats itself, and I think the game would be better if the boss didn't repeat at all. You know, if the bosses were really unique. But still, Elden Ring does a great job at surprising you. You kinda don't know what crazy boss you're gonna expect in the next castle, in the next dungeon. Another great thing about this game is the visuals. Holy moly, jolly boly, holy shit. This game looks amazing. The graphics is so beautiful. The art direction is so well done. You always have to stop just to admire the view, you know? There's so many great vistas. I feel like you can go on this game and just take some prints and then you can use on a wallpaper from your computer, or maybe a frame on your wall.
Hey, what the hell is that?
That's art, baby. That's art. When the game looks that good, finding new locations on the game is so rewarding because you feel like you always want to explore more and more because the game just looks so amazing. You just find the new biomes and new hells and new crazy places. It's so fun. Now, this is my first Souls game, and although I like the game, there's definitely some things I don't like that much. I mean, most of the things I don't like is subjective. So maybe you don't agree, but that's fine. It's just something I feel like I don't like it. Like for example, let's talk about the content. Here's the thing. As I said, the game world is beautiful and it's really cool to explore. But at the same time, after a while playing the game, I realized I was not having a lot of fun. Because the first few hours is truly amazing. You're just exploring this crazy world, seeing enemies. But I don't know, maybe after 8 hours, I was just feeling like I did everything the game had to offer. Like Elden Ring is about one thing: killing enemies. You go to a place, you kill enemies, and then you fight a big boss. And that kind of repeats itself a lot, because the game doesn't have a lot besides that. I mean, there is some quests, I guess, but nothing really substantial. The game basically reduces itself by killing enemies. It kind of reminds me of The Last of Us, where the game is fun, but at the same time the game is just the same gameplay over and over again until it ends. And this game kind of feels the same way. You know, there's a lot of moments you're just gonna go to a place and just kill some enemies more and more. And that's not necessarily the most fun thing ever. I don't know, here's the thing. When I play a game like Skyrim or Breath of the Wild, I feel like there is so much more. You know, like yeah, you can fight monsters, but also you can find a puzzle. Also you can solve a mystery. Or maybe you can find a guy asking if you want to go bowling. You know, that kind of makes it more fun to explore the world. You kind of don't know what to expect in the next corner. Elden Ring, though, if you look at the distance, you kind of already know what's there, what's waiting for you. It's probably a big guy with a sword, or maybe a statue with a sword, or maybe a bird with a sword, you know? That's fine. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. Elden Ring is not promising to be an RPG or anything like that. The game is selling cool monster fights, and that's cool. But I think it's totally understandable if some people feel like me and just feel that fatigue after a while. Also, there is a problem with the difficulty. Here's the thing, I'm not the best player in the world. I can be pretty stupid most of the times. So I died in this game so many times. I died again and again and again, and here's the thing, that's frustrating. Elden Ring sometimes feel like those troll games, you know? Remember that cat game, or I Wanna Be the Guy, where the game puts some traps just to make you mad? Elden Ring kind of feels the same way sometimes, where you die and your reaction is mostly like this. What? That's bullshit! Fuck this game, stupid fucking ass game! I'm gonna play Mario. So, in the end, I just end up farming runes, you know? I just end up fighting the same smaller bosses, so I could just, unlock the easy level by doing some upgrades. And come on, let's talk about the upgrades, because here's the thing, I don't understand the upgrade system of this game. First of all, there's a lot of it. Like in other games, maybe you're gonna find a life bar, a stamina, or something like that. But in this game, you have so much bullshit, like mind, fate, arcane. Like, I feel like most of this, it could just be removed and it would make a lot of difference. I think the game would actually be better without it. But the problem is, you can't just ignore that, because the game, when you find some weapons or some spells, many times you can't use those because you need to upgrade to use that weapon. It's like, oh no, to use that weapon you need level 11 in arcane. And it's like having to upgrade to use a weapon is so boring. It sucks, you know. It's not fun. That completely destroys the exploration for me, because one of the great things about open world games is finding cool shit, you know. Entering a cave and finding a cool weapon is like one of the coolest feelings ever, you know. Finding something is already rewarding. That's cool. But Elden Ring kind of breaks that feeling, because the game have this sort of microtransaction sort of thing, where, oh, you want to use this weapon? Well, you have to pay for it. Also, the upgrade breaks the weapons for me, because remember when I said I spent a while saving runes just so I could make upgrades? Well, at one point, I upgraded my sword, but now the problem was every other sword I found was weaker than the sword I already have. So I was like, well, why do I bother to open chests anymore, honestly? Because I know what I'm gonna find is gonna be weaker than the weapon I have, so what's the point? So the upgrade system for me is just something I truly didn't like. I don't understand why it's in a game. I don't know, finding weapons and spells in games is like a kid playing with toys, but the game kind of wants to regulate how you should play, and I don't know, that's the kind of the opposite of fun. Now, even with that, I like the game. I think the game is so amazing. I feel like there's so much to enjoy about this game. Like you can see when the game is made with love, you know. You can see that the developers really put their time into make a fun game that they wanted. And I think this game can still be very enjoyable, even with all those bullshits that I mentioned. And yeah, this game was probably one of the most unique experiences I had playing a game, and I will probably play the game again in the future. So yeah, that was my perspective on a non-Souls player playing Elden Ring for the first time. If there's any other games like this that you want to recommend, you know, let me know in the comments. And thank you for watching. And subscribe if you want to see me talking more about this stuff. And thank you. Bye bye.